Pradhan. Fantastic reporting, you and Dan Diamond, the whole team at Politico. Many thanks.
Thank you.
Congressman Ted Lieu has been calling for Tom Price to resign. He has a new bill out to stop taxpayer-funded private jet travel by cabinet members when commercial flights are available. Your reaction to the resignation, Congressman?
I think Tom Price did the right thing by resigning, but keep in mind, he is just one example of the culture of corruption inside the Trump administration. There have been multiple administration officials that have violated the law, engaged in unethical behavior, and flown around on private jets. It's clear by now that the Trump administration officials have not drained the swamp. They've become the swamp, and this needs to change.
We have news tonight that apparently, first of all, Mick Mulvaney sent a memo out basically saying don't do this, that cabinet secretaries will now have to get express written consent from the chief of staff, Jack Kelly, at the White House for any such flights as this. You have legislation to go further. Is that even necessary now?
It absolutely is. So the Swamp Flyers Act that I have introduced will prohibit taxpayer-funded non-commercial jet travel unless it's for national security reasons or there's no commercial flight available. And keep in mind, it's not even just about taxpayer funding of this luxury travel. It's all about the way it looks and feels, because you've got the Interior Secretary charging $12,000 to taxpayers to fly on an oil executive's private jet. So you've got massive conflicts of interest happening.
What do you say to people who say this is essentially just the way business is done, that these are important people who have lots of places to go to, very packed travel itineraries? In the case of, say, Scott Pruitt, who has an 18-person security detail, 24 hours, he has genuine security fears, that these are all justifiable costs.
Scott Pruitt is paranoid, and he needs to be investigated because he's also charging taxpayers $25,000 for a soundproof booth in his building. I can tell you, the way we do it is we just close the door and talk in lower voices, and that handles it. You don't have to charge $25,000 to taxpayers. And the prior administration, Kathleen Sebelius, did not take these private jets. Tom Price did. There's a big difference.
Do you think that this is ultimately that the message comes from the top? I mean, is there a culture here that people are getting signals from the President of the United States about what isn't okay, what is and is not okay?
Absolutely. As Anthony Scaramucci said, right, the fish head rots at the top. And what we have here is the president who is enriching himself and his family at taxpayers' expense. He has all these businesses all over the world, and foreign countries and foreign nationals are staying at his properties and paying him. And that whenever he goes golfing or stays at one of his properties here in the United States, his entire entourage goes there, has to pay lodging, and has to buy food and drink. That's all taxpayer money. And this starts at the top, and hopefully the president will change for the good of the country.
Do you think that's possible, though? I mean, what's interesting here is that there does seem to be a difference in the way that people react to Tom Price doing something and the way they react to the president doing something.
I do think things will change because the public is not buying what the president is selling. He is still mired in very low approval ratings. He's back down to in the 30-some% approvals. And as we head into next November, hopefully we see the president change, or there's going to be a radical shakeup in the makeup of Congress.
All right, Congressman Lieu, many thanks.
Thank you.
Lonnie Chen, Senior